Welcome to this video, and today we're going to be talking about all things to do with Dubai. If you're thinking about moving to Dubai, if you're thinking about setting up a business there, how to go about doing it, why you should do it, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, that's everything we're going to be covering in this video. I'm Reza, I'm the founder of Capture Accounting, and today I have with me my colleague Brendan, who heads up our overseas division and looks after the content creators and influencers that we have within Capture. Hey Brendan, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you for asking.
Good. All right, so let's kick off with the question that we got asked the most. Why would somebody want to move to Dubai?
There's many reasons why people would look to move to Dubai. Let's be honest, it's stunning. The weather's beautiful. It's a lot different to where we're from in the UK. But from our side, there's obviously a financial benefit to this. There's a networking opportunity which creates professional relationships and growth, and it allows you to actually expand your wealth as well in a lot of ways. So there's also, away from that, is the safety element. The safety element out in Dubai is probably one of the safest places that you can live in the world. And it's clean, it's tidy. So of course there's a lot of benefits.
And the biggest benefit of all, Brendan, that we talk about a lot with clients is?
Of course, there is tax benefits. Of course, it's the biggest topic that comes up. Of course, everybody wants to know why would you move to Dubai? Of course, the first question is tax.
Absolutely, yeah. So, big benefit is the fact that there is no income tax at present in Dubai. So whatever you earn in Dubai is not taxed. Yes, they have just introduced corporation tax. If you have a business out there, you set up a business out there, then there is a little bit of corporation tax to pay, but we'll come on to that later on in this video. Before that though, so if I'm thinking about moving to Dubai and I'm thinking about, I have a business, I'm a content creator, or I'm an influencer, or I have another type of business and I want to move to Dubai, what do I need to think about first? So to move to Dubai, we need a visa, don't we, Brendan? Talk to us a bit.
You certainly do. So there's a couple of steps, first of all, okay? When you're looking to move to Dubai, I would first look at what legal structure fits yourself as a company, as a partnership, what best suits what you're looking to get out of it. I would then look past that and start to look at actually the setup of the entities. So you can start to look up where to set up, where's the best place for me to set up, and there is places like free zones, mainlands. We'll come back to that side of things.
Yeah, so we're talking about visas. So to go to Dubai, we can't just, in order to stay in Dubai beyond your 60 days kind of tourist visa that will let you go, you might be allowed off the back of your UK, US passport, etc. Beyond that, you need to actually have a visa in Dubai. And the only way you can get a visa in Dubai is A, if you have an employment, so someone has offered you a job out there and they are sponsoring you, or B, you are your own sponsor, meaning you have your own business set up out there. So Brendan, talk to us about the different options when it comes to, I have a business here in the UK, I want to now move to Dubai and I want to take my business to Dubai. How do I go about doing that? What are the options available to me?
Okay, so the first things that I would look at is where you want to set up, as I touched on earlier. Okay, so you as a business, you obviously want to look into where is the quickest, the easiest, the painless kind of option for me as a business to set up. Okay, and in Dubai it would be through free zones. And you might say, what is a free zone? I don't know what a free zone is and where is it. But from our side at the moment, the best way for me to describe this is everybody knows when I use an analogy of the US. Okay, the US has multiple different states and everybody would probably know that each one has their own jurisdiction. It's the same with the UAE. The UAE has multiple different emirates and each one has their own jurisdictions. Okay, from our side at the minute, you would look at Dubai and you would look at the mainland and free zones. Okay, a free zone is its own jurisdiction within Dubai. There is certain restrictions if you sell goods and you manufacture our shop fronts in mainland that you would have to have a mainland license. But in short, I would look at first a trade license. Okay, and a trade license is a setup of an entity for a company. I would then look at setting up a visa. I would then, off the back end of the visa, I would then look at which you would get your Emirates ID and your residency in Dubai.
So just a recap there, with the UAE is made up of 7 emirates. So Dubai is one of them, Abu Dhabi is one of them, Fujairah is one of them, Ajman is one of them. So when we talk about free zones, we're talking about areas that you can set up a business in the whole UAE, which allows you to operate. Now, the UAE is unlike places like the UK and US, where anyone can kind of go and set up a business without any issues. It's kind of quite a closed place, as it were, in terms of to do business. So if you go back 20 years before the idea of free zones came out, if you weren't either an Emirati national or you weren't sponsored by an Emirati, meaning an Emirati didn't have had a stake in your business, you couldn't set up a business there. So the only way of doing business would be to have a partnership with an Emirati national, essentially paying them a share of your profits. They then introduced free zones about a decade or so ago, meaning that people from outside of Dubai could come and set up a business there, but in certain areas. So there's a difference between mainland Dubai and then the free zones, which are just outside Dubai or in other Emirates. And actually now anyone can set up a free zone entity. You have to apply for a license, but that's fairly straightforward. This is exactly what we assist our content creator, influencer and other clients with, helping them to set up a business, which then gives you the ability to then apply for a visa through the trade license that you have. So in terms of steps wise, you set up your business, that then gives you the opportunity to then apply for your visa. That visa then allows you to live and work in the UAE for a period of a couple of years before which it needs to be renewed. So in terms of, if we're looking at ballpark costs, because every free zone has their own costs and requirements in terms of what you need to set up a business there, ballpark costs of if I were to set up a mainland business versus a free zone entity, tell us, Brendan, what does that look like?
So, of course, it depends, okay? Each free zone has its own cost structures, and it depends who you do it with, because they'll put a fee on top, but ballpark figure, about 25 to 30,000 dirhams.
And then beyond that kind of ongoing costs, because once you're there, you've established a business in the UAE, what's now required? Is it similar to the UK, Brendan, where the company has to do filings in terms of VAT filings and annual accounts filings and audit and things like that? Talk to us a bit about that.
It's exactly that. I actually get the questions come up quite a lot from clients, because everybody thinks they can move to Dubai and that's it. Okay, they don't have to have record keeping, they don't have to do any responsibilities in Dubai. Of course they do. It's all changed for corp tax purposes, but the idea is it's very similar to a UK business. Okay, you will have to file statutory accounts. Okay, you will have to file what they class as a corporation tax return. It's the same kind of principle as the UK, and you will have to abide by certain VAT obligations out there and keeping your books clean, so that if you were investigated, you would have to prove your income.
And in terms of anything we need, let's say I'm a content creator, I'm an influencer, I want to set up a business in Dubai, but I've got a business here in the UK, I've got a UK limited company, I'm getting all my income through that. What's the best course of action in terms of, do I need to demonstrate that I've got some business activity going on in Dubai, or can I just make recharges to my UK business? Talk to me a bit about that. What are the risks involved? What is the best practice to be able to support my newfound, free zone company in the UAE?
Dubai and UAE is exactly like anywhere else in the world. Everyone thinks that just because it's tax-free or they didn't have tax at some point that they don't abide by the international rules. Of course they do. Okay, so you would still have to have economic substance. Even if you don't have to do an economic substance returns, you would still have to have that. What does that mean? You might say, it's accounting jargon, that side of things. What I'd say is, like any business, you have to show it has substance. You have to show that you have regular trade, regular income. You have to show you have regular expenditure to go with that trade, and then show that you're paying yourself salary and even a dividend, and how you're doing that. When you're a sole beneficiary, so by that I mean when it's just yourself as a one-man band and that side of things through the business, you have to remember a principle called arm's length, okay, which basically means if you were to get someone else to do it for you, what would you pay them?
Absolutely. Fantastic. And give us a couple of examples, Brendan, about clients that we have out there, YouTuber clients of ours we've helped them to make that transition and set up residence there. What are the income sources that are coming into their free zone business, and what kind of expenses are they putting through, just to give the viewers a bit of insight into what the economic substance actually means in reality?
Okay, so we have a range of clients. Okay, we have a lot of fitness moguls, and we have a lot of people that operate just through YouTube mainly, and it's unrelated to fitness. Okay, and a lot of the expenses that you'll see is when you look at the fitness moguls and you look at fitness apps and you look at what they build, okay, they will have a lot of expenses that will go through to build the content, whether it's filming, whether it's editing, whether it's subcontractors for coaches to build the app with them, or it's IT. You know, all of this builds the substance behind the trade activity. If you're looking at YouTube, you can have Google AdSense, you can have sponsorships, you can have at the back end of YouTube, you might have some sort of products that you sell. You know, it all builds into your income revenue streams, which then you will have relevant expenses against. Especially for YouTube, again, it's filming content. When you're building the content, of course, there's a lot of costs. We know there's a lot of costs that come with it. Everyone thinks you turn up, you film something, and it's done. It's not the way it works. Okay, there's a lot that goes into it, which means you have to record it in the right way so that you can get the tax relief on that, depending on whether or not it's applicable out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the more you can kind of put through the business in terms of the free zone business, have the expenses there, so have, you know, locally sourced videographers, payments going out of your UAE bank account, that helps you to show that economic substance. And presumably, Brendan, you know, in terms of how easy is it to transfer the AdSense income that people are, say, getting in their UK entity into a Dubai entity? And then talk to us about, you know, Stripe, etc. Presumably you can set up your Stripe account there as well, can't you? So that if you're selling your own products, digital products, etc., online courses, then you can have that income coming through into your Dubai entity, right?
You certainly can. From the UK aspect at the moment, you can charge your hours, you can charge day rates, you can charge essentially anything related to yourself back to the UK business, okay? Which will get tax relief in the UK and you'll declare it in Dubai or not, depending on whether you're exempt or not. But in Dubai, it would then come across as a management charge and it will be received as income into the Dubai company. So from that aspect, you don't need to worry about where it's received, as long as you've got economic substance behind what you're providing. That arm's length principle comes in again, okay? You'll have a contract with a UK business, make sure that it's at the rate anyone else would be charging you to do a similar service.
And what about moving the AdSense account over across to the free zone entity? Is that doable?
It's doable, but I must admit a lot of people don't. And the reason why a lot of people don't is because it's quite a lot of hassle. When you set up a Google AdSense account, you'll realise actually how much hassle it is to try and get it changed across. So a lot of the times it's quite difficult for people to do so, not because they can't do it, mainly because it's quite time consuming with the Google regulations to get it done.
Absolutely. And there's no harm in having, you know, your UK presence, your UK entity still ongoing for certain income streams, because at the end of the day, no matter how great the UAE is at the moment, at present, you know, you enjoy the lifestyle, the security, the tax savings. Ultimately, there's no real kind of in terms of certainty there for you, because you will never get UAE nationality. Nobody ever will. Unless you are an Emirati national, they will never give you nationality, meaning that they can kick you out at any time. Which is why we always say, don't close down your UK company, keep your UK entity going, or wherever you are in the world, keep your local jurisdiction company going, because you always need that contingency, that fallback. Maybe you might come back in 5-10 years time. It's always helpful to have both entities running simultaneously with each other. Timescale wise, Brendan, how long does it take to set up, to go through this process of, you know, setting up the entity and getting a visa? Ballpark?
In short, I would say about 4 to 6 weeks. But of course, there is many factors that can affect that with the authorities. You know, they're just like anyone else. If there's holidays out there, you know, it can create delays. But in most cases, when people come across, it's about 4 to 6 weeks, and that will give you an entry permit into UAE for you to do medical, finalise the visa, and it will complete the process getting your Emirates ID.
And last question on this video, which we often get asked: can I get all these benefits of Dubai in terms of taxation and business and stuff like that, but still live in the UK?
I get this question a lot, as you can imagine. Unfortunately not, okay? If you set up an entity over in Dubai, and they're close companies, so it's just yourself, and you're setting it up over in Dubai, but you're putting everything through the Dubai company, then of course there's a controlling element of where the service and everything that you're building is from the UK. So of course it's still applicable for UK tax laws, which means, in short, no, you can't.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, can't have your cake and eat it. So one or the other, I'm afraid. But absolutely. If you want to know more about moving to Dubai, about setting up a business in Dubai, if you're a content creator, an influencer, or you have another business and you're looking to set up in Dubai, then click on the links below and book a call with us here at Capture Accounting. We'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, hope you found this useful, and we have more videos which you can click on around this video to learn a bit more about the expenses that you can claim, or the more involved intricacies of moving to the UAE. Apart from that, Brendan, thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon.